Jesus freak here. And I suppose that the various projects I do online, a lot of this is, for all intents and purposes, it's X, but I don't dare call it X because I don't have the kingdom authority, so to speak. And it might sound weird that I'd say, for all intents and purposes, this is practically a ministry, and it's almost become an online church without walls, but I dare not call it that. And it puts me in a weird position because I'm practically doing church things with no church because I'm just laity. I'm not a pastor. I'm not clergy. And I've sometimes said, I wish I were, not because I wanted to run any sort of, normal church, but because I feel that anything I'm going to do, it's like, yeah, what are you? You're just you're just a normal person. You're just a layperson. You ain't you ain't a minister. You don't have any position to be talking like this. Even though, for what it's worth, I believe that the Apocalypse of John, Book of Revelation, teaches the concept of the priesthood of all believers. So it puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I'm basically doing church stuff, but I'm not doing church stuff. I'm doing something that just happens to be, for all intents and purposes, identical to church stuff, but isn't church stuff because I'm not a pastor of a church or a pastor at all. And it feels a bit awkward. Now, I know that people responding positively to what I'm doing. And I know that you know, oh, God's helping. And it might be a bit pretentious to say, but if he weren't, I think people would probably just turned off my videos after the first one or two scripture readings, and they say, oh, we can get this anywhere. But I don't think they stick around. I don't think you'd stick around if you didn't notice something, if you didn't think there was something there. But technically, there was nothing there. But the question is, can one recognize the calling they have, or is it necessary to go through gatekeeping? And I understand, we don't want randos just saying, oh, I'm a pastor, that have absolutely no education, that don't have any sort of backing of the Spirit, that don't even believe what they're trying to teach, and are just in it for fame and fortune. And it's not what it's about to me. If I'm looking to become a pastor or whatever, it's not because I want a title or I want some renown or whatever. It's because I feel like I can't be taken seriously as just lay, as just a normal person who happens to be doing things that are usually associated with the clergy. So it puts me in an awkward position where I'm like, I should do this. I need to do this. I'm driven to do this. I'm doing this. And people are responding well to it. And I was Googling around, and someone said, Amos never thought of himself as a prophet. But he was. So I'm in a sort of a weird uh, limbo of sorts where, I'm doing all this stuff that I'm taking on responsibilities that aren't really even my privilege to do. And I feel kind of awkward about it, but I feel like I have to. And I know it, just the thought is inherently controversial. Do I think I should stop because I don't have the, paper authority to do what I'm doing? No, I don't. Others are no doubt going to say I should. Because, again, no authority. And some will say, you're obviously, spirit led, or you wouldn't be doing what you're doing, and you wouldn't have people caring about what you're doing. So it's a bit of a conundrum, really. I'm not really sure what the right answer is. I don't want to go through the established channels because I feel that it's more about gatekeeping than doing service to God. And I understand, some people are going to watch, are going to beg to differ with me on this. I certainly don't want to go through my own church. Because while I agree with their ultimate founder on a lot of matters, I don't agree with them on a lot of matters. And because I place so much more authority and status on this than they do. But I don't fit, I don't think, in the organized church system. Which is naturally going to get me locked out by any gatekeepers. So I feel like, I understand why the gatekeepers exist, but it feels like the need for gatekeepers is going to lock out people who are spirit led or who feel, the calling and can't answer it because of the gatekeepers. And I'm like, at some point, you kind of got to say, well, what's more important? The call of God or the rule of the gatekeepers? And some people might say, well, but if you have to disobey the gatekeepers to obey the call of God, is it really the call of God? And that's the quandary, because it's a good question and one I don't really have the answer to. Jesus freak out.